And then also in AAA, another guy that I wanted to possibly trade was, I can just go to roster and transactions rather than here. Davinsky possibly, I might want to keep him though. Iriano is another one who I might want to. Let's do this. Shop player around. Only prospects though for Iriano. Maybe there's some team that would want to trade for him. No. So nobody would want him for a prospect. What about a regular? Maybe like a 26-year-old who we could throw in AAA? See, that's what we're looking for here. Not as many offers, probably because Hiriano's 36. But, like, yeah, Peraza's not somebody we're looking at. I don't know. He could be. He's okay. He's a decent player. He's making $3 million, a little over $3 million. He only has one option left. Yeah. Well, I don't want... The thing is, I don't want to take away playing time from the current middle infielders we already have at the Major League level. I wonder if I go here, remove him. Because remember, I was looking at guys earlier... Not AAA. Their active roster. I was looking at guys earlier, and Luis Torrens was somebody I added to my shortlist because I was interested in possibly maybe trading for him at some point. So maybe we want to do that now. That's not a fair deal. Dipoto thinks it's a good deal. Yeah, I don't particularly want to throw in someone like Isaiah Campbell, who was our second-round pick in 2019. We did not draft him, but he is a guy who was a high draft pick, asset, possible starter in the future. We don't want to just give up somebody like him for Luis Torrens, and nobody else would really make it work that we're willing to give up. Yeah, no, none of these guys I'm interested in giving up. So yeah, Luis Torrens, maybe not. And if the thing is, if I was to get Torrens, then I would just roll with Cal Riley as like our AAA catcher, and Torrens would be our backup Major League catcher, and I would probably try to trade Tom Murphy for like a starter or somebody. But yeah. It doesn't seem like we're going to be able to do that unless I can maybe trade one of these other AAA relievers. Like, let's sort by positions. And, like, remove Hiriano, but maybe we could trade Davinsky for him? Okay, so that wouldn't even... San Diego would be over budget if we did that, and the only reason we would be able to do Hiriano for that is because he's making $1.6 million. Because they brought him over from Japan. So, like, someone like Swanson probably wouldn't be... Yeah, no, they like that even less. Alright, so Luis Torrens is not going to be a thing right now. Hiriano probably also not being able to get traded. What about Taylor Williams? Because he's not really anything too special. He was pretty good in AAA in his 15 innings. Barely pitched really any at all last year. So let's just try to trade him for a prospect. Open up a 40-man spot too, possibly. Please, somebody want Taylor Williams. Nobody wants Taylor Williams. Alright, what about regulars? These guys are probably going to hate me because I'm shopping them so often, but I mean, the plan is to get rid of them, so... Yeah, once again, Peraza's being offered. Even someone like Benintendi. Like, the Red Sox really, really don't like Benintendi. What is up with that? I mean, he's been disappointing. Didn't really put up a great year last year. Yeah, we don't really have a space for him. But I mean, if they're willing to give up Andrew Benintendi for, like, you know, a middling reliever, that's how badly they want to get rid of this guy. Not a great defensive outfielder, which is odd because he's got good ratings, and I mean, he was a center fielder in college. So it is odd that he does not have great ratings. Still has, like, what is that, like a year? Maybe like a year and a half of team control. I'm not really sure why I'm looking at this, to be honest, because I don't need an outfielder. We got Kyle Lewis in left, we got Kulinic in center, Haniger in right, and that's just like a set outfield. We don't need to mess with that. Vogie's playing DH. We don't have a DH spot open. Evan White's first base. Now, like, Smith's going to be the fourth outfielder. We don't need an outfielder. That's the thing. Maybe eventually when Haniger goes, but I mean, we don't need to worry about that right now. As cool as it would be to maybe be able to try to steal Benintendi from the Reds. So we're going to add him to my short list. Just so we can keep an eye on him as he goes throughout his career. We'll keep an eye on him. And let's just go through, look through some other guys. Maybe we'll be able to find some sort of organizational middle infielder that we could trade for. Does not look like that is going to be the case, though. It's all just a bunch of contracts that guys want to get rid of. For the most part. Besides, like, Jace Peterson. But, I mean, like, why would we trade for Jace Peterson? You know, out of option years, already on the roster, already on the 40-man. Not really what we're looking for here. Yeah, alright. So we're not going to be able to trade for... get rid of those guys right now. We did dump Brennan, though, so that is something. Okay, Rule 5 draft's coming up. I want to make sure. So we have 3 spots open on the 40-man. And do we have anybody who we could take? Like, I wouldn't mind taking Tyler Alexander off to open up a spot if we run out of spots. Trading Hiriano is an option, too. If we could find a trade for him. What else could we possibly do to open up spots on this 40-man? Taylor Williams, obviously, if we could get a deal. Anything else? Not really. So who is somebody who might get taken in the 40-man that we do not want to lose out on? Not really any of these guys stand, like Mills. Wyatt Mills is definitely a guy we don't want to lose out on. Look at those ratings. Extreme ground ball, that's very good. So we want to ensure that Wyatt Mills is not going to get taken in the 40-man. Art Warren as well. That's another one. Grotz, he had a good year in AAA for us. I was looking at him all season long, but I don't think he would get taken in the 40-man if we don't protect him. Delaplane might. He definitely might get taken. Starters, possibly, like Cortez. I feel like Cortez and Dunn are probably ones that might get taken. Any double-A guys? Like, I don't think Rizzo would be somebody, even though he is available to be taken, I don't think they would waste, like, a spot on their Major League roster for someone like Joe Rizzo, who's still, like, a couple years away. Yeah, so Cortez and Justin Dunn, they need to be added. And then I'm thinking Wyatt Mills. Wyatt Mills is definitely someone who needs to be added, because that's definitely someone they would be looking to go after. And then I'm going to remove Tyler Alexander from the 40-man, because, I mean, he didn't pitch in the minors for us he did, for Tacoma for a bit. He wasn't great in Tacoma, wasn't great for us either. So, I mean, I wouldn't mind keeping him around the organization, but also I do want to open up a spot in the 40-man. And yeah, like, Art Warren is a guy who I don't want to lose, so I think I'm going to throw him on the 40-man, and then that would be it, really. Delaplane, he was really good in Double-A last year. Got rocked, but I mean, he barely pitched in Triple-A. Could we possibly make room by getting anybody else off the 40-man for him? Yeah, we're going to throw Warren on the 40-man. And then we're going to advance a day to the Rule 5 draft. Is this just the... Yeah, this is the Rule 5 draft notification. We're going to take a look at this. We're going to take a look at the draft. Who is in here? Just all players. Yeah, Delaplane and Grotz are two of the top guys in here, so they're probably going to get taken, is the thing. So I don't want to lose these guys. Let's see if we can trade some of these relievers that I'm looking at here to open up spots on the 40-man. So, like, if I could trade two of some sort of combination of Hiriano, Swanson, Williams, and maybe even Davinsky, but probably not. Like, let's see, who would want Eric Swanson? Could we possibly trade Eric Swanson for a prospect? Maybe. Any takers? Any takers at all? Yes! Look at this. You know, not the greatest prospects, definitely not this guy, but this guy, Drew Harrington. He's on the 40-man. That's not good. We're looking to open up spots on the 40-man, not add people to the 40-man. So that's not particularly what we're after here. But this Bard's... The thing is, I don't want to just trade away Swanson for, like, just some nobody. And that's exactly what this would be doing. We would just be trading away for some guy who's never going to be anything. So what if we do here? Add regulars, maybe like a 26-year-old they consider a regular because he's that overall, like Mike Schweiveren. Yeah, he's already on the 40-man. We can't trade for him. Who's this Mashin? Yeah, he's already on the Major League team. No, not what we're looking for here. Jack Mayfield, already on the Major League team. See, I think what we're going to do is we're just going to... I would much rather lose someone like Taylor Williams than I would one of these guys who I think could be a very good reliever, like Gratz or Delaplane. So I think I'm just going to waive and DFA Taylor Williams, hope he clears, and then we'll just throw him down in AAA again. That opens up a spot for Gratz or Delaplane. Who do we prefer? Delaplane's 25. Gratz, he pitched in AAA last year. He had the much better year. I want to throw Gratz on the 40-man. And then is there one other guy we could DFA that we wouldn't mind losing? Like Fila, maybe? We saw that when he came up at the end of last year and then we got rid of him, people were glad we cut ties. So that's not something you like to see. But it's also something that, like, you know, if somebody gets hurt, I don't want to, like, have to choose between, like, Braden Bishop and, like, Liberato to call up. But Chavez Young's there, too. Fraley. That's the thing. We have Braden Bishop. Why? Is he on the 40-man still? He is. Why can't I just try to trade Braden Bishop? I do not want Braden Bishop. He was okay in AAA. Yeah, that's the move here, is trading Braden Bishop. Can we trade Braden Bishop for a prospect? Anybody at all. Just literally anybody. He's somebody I wouldn't even mind dumping. Yes. Very good. Okay. This is what I'm talking about here. Campbell, Iowa Cubs. He's eligible. Probably wouldn't get taken, though. Didn't have a great year in AAA. Was pretty good. Really good in AA, actually. Really good in AA. Okay. Levi Jordan. No. That would just no. We're not trying to give him a... We're trying to get, like, an infielder here. We're not trying to get another pitcher and just make even more of a logjam with our minor league relievers. We're trying to get guys who can actually have spots to be used in our minor league system. Carlos Cortez. This is a guy who's interesting. He's ineligible. That's very interesting, to be honest. Not a great defensive player. He's only 23, still like halfway to 24. He could possibly be a solid hitter. Extreme pull, fly ball hitter. Huh. You know, he had a pretty solid year in AA. Much younger than the other guy. What about this Carpio guy? Not a great year. Could we possibly get both? Cornelius Randolph. He is eligible, but would he get taken is the thing. He can play all over the place. Because I know he got drafted as a second baseman. He's going to strike out a ton is the thing. Alright, we're going to see if we can get Cortez and Carpio combined, and if we can, that's what we're going to go with. But if we can't, then we're going to see if we can get Randolph and Williams? Randolph and Kumana? No, this guy's already in the 40, man. We don't want him. This guy is eligible. But he's not going to get taken. That's the thing. I don't think. I would not imagine this guy gets taken. So this guy would just be adding more to our... Yeah, so if we can't get Cortez and Carpio, then I'll see if I can get Cornelius Randolph and Luke, one of these guys. Alright, so Cortez, prospects, he was only like a 35. Where's Carpio? Carpio. Is he higher than that? Where is he? I find... Here he is. Luis Carpio. Bam! Let's go. We're going to do that. Braden Bishop for these two guys. They get Braden Bishop. We get Cortez and Carpio. We're going to do that. Bam. Player disappointed to see Braden Bishop leave. That's fine. We have plenty of leaders at this point. We don't need him. So someone like Carlos Cortez is going to go to AAA. Going to get added to the kids shortlist. Disable AI demotion, and then Carpio, same thing. Tacoma. The kids. Disable AI demotion. So bam, we just opened up another spot in the 40, man. For... Who did we open that up for? For Delaplane. Delaplane. Bada bing, bada boom. I don't think there's anybody I particularly want in the Rule 5 draft. I mean, we could get somebody like Josh Lowe. I don't really need someone like Josh Lowe, though. I don't want to, like, try to rush somebody like Josh Lowe. Josh Devers. Yeah, I don't... Any of these high potential guys, you would just be rushing, and I don't want to do that, is the thing. Josh Lowe wouldn't be as much rushing as the other guys, but I don't really want to do that. So I think we're just not gonna do a Rule 5 draft guy. Just because I feel like we don't particularly need any of these people. Because it looks like we're going to be able to get all the guys we want in free agency. So yeah, we don't need any of these guys. We're just going to auto-draft through this. Alright, let's go. Nobody from our system got taken. The only guys that did, Pedro Severino, Pinder, Hernandez, Cronenworth, Josh Lowe went to the Braves. Yeah, alright. That's fine. Nobody from our system got taken. We opened up a spot. We got a 40-man now. We're going to have to clear room again in the 40-man once these guys sign for us, but we'll deal with that when that time comes. Kansas City claimed Tyler Alexander. That's fine. I waived him with intentions of it being fine. He got claimed by a bunch of teams. Wow. Okay. These are all just some minor league free agents that I offered deals to. They're fine. We'll just leave them doing their thing. Yes! The third baseman signed. Now, I'm not going to add him to Seattle quite yet. We're going to have him in AAA for now. but he is going to be like I just don't want to add him to the 40-man right now. He's not a kid. We don't need to add him to the kids. What am I doing? We do need to make sure that he does not get disabled, which we already sent down, which we already did. But he is going to be our third baseman right from the get-go. That's the thing. I just don't want to start his time on the 40-man now. We're just going to wait until like preseason or something to do that. I mean, I feel like that's a solid rotation. If Gonzalez bounces back this year, we can have a very solid rotation. Now we're just waiting to hear back from Mr. Andrelton Simmons, who still prefers our offer. And he gets it. Let's go. Andrelton Simmons is now the shortstop of the Seattle Mariners. So we need to make room on the 40-man, so I feel like Feel is probably the option here. I don't particularly want to waive him. He's probably going to get claimed, I feel like. Yeah, I'm going to waive him. Open up a position player's spot. Simmons goes on the team. If Feel gets claimed, that's fine. We'll deal with it. Maybe I'll add him to the short list and see if we can maybe claim him back at some point, but yeah, open up a spot for Simmons. That's the move. Yeah, so just like eyeballing this lineup and rotation and bullpen, obviously we had a very good bullpen last year. So, I mean, if they stay the same or even improve, that's solid. If our rotation improves with Tanaka and maybe Gonzalez bouncing back, hopefully Margevicius doesn't, return the form too much. Maybe this is form for him. Maybe he's a consistent BABIP guy. But, I mean, improved, insane defense at shortstop. Evan White for a full season at first. Shed Long is going to move to second base. We're going to have much better defense at third and another bat in the lineup. Lewis is going to have a full season. Kulinic's going to have a full season. And I just feel like that could be a team that could be like a wild card, you know? If everything goes to plan, that could be a wild card team. That's what I'm saying. All right, so Fila did not get claimed, so he just goes right back to AAA for us. And, yeah, all of a sudden, AAA is looking pretty solid. Wait, what happened to that catcher? Oh, that's right, we put him in AA. So AA is this guy. We want him to be in AA just because he's never been past A-ball in Major League Base or in professional baseball, aside from Indie. Obviously, Indie ball is its whole separate thing. But yeah, we want to start him in AA. He'll probably eventually end up in AAA. And right now we just have Cal Riley in AAA as a catcher, so what I want to do, and we have Patrick Bailey in high A this year just because he wasn't that great, or he was okay in A-ball, but he was only there for like half a season. So we want to have him in high A-ball for here. And maybe if he performs well, we'll call him up to AA, and then maybe it'll line up with this guy getting called up to AAA. But for now, we want to go into Offseason Center and find ourselves another AAA catcher. Here, I don't care. Just like zero demand. What am I doing? Catchers. Catcher ability. Just the best catcher ability of it, like this Ryan Huig guy. Another indie ball guy. I mean, the other guy's way better than him. I wouldn't want to put him there. But it's like Steve Barron. I wouldn't mind having him in AAA. He's a solid backup AAA catcher. He would back up Raleigh. I think it's Raleigh. And he would be very solid catcher ability as a backup, and he would be a leader on that team. So I feel like he's the move here as the AAA backup catcher. Steve Barron. Bada bing, bada boom, eh? Alright, so the preseason has started. Our owner has actually raised our budget from $138 million to $150 million, which is good to see. We have $35 million for free agents available, $31 million for extensions. Market size and fan loyalty below average. Fan interest up to 62. And, yeah, hopefully our team is going to be improved this year. I feel like it's going to be. And let's take a look at the Hall of Fame voting results here. So Kurt Schilling gets in, boo. Bonds gets in, hell yes. And then Roger Clemens gets in, who is currently, actually, where do we, I guess I can't select him as a coach here. But he is currently our Double-A manager, Roger Clemens. Look at that. Finally gets himself in the Hall of Fame the same year we hire him as Double-A manager. Who knows? Maybe Roger Clemens becomes such a beast as a manager in our organization that we just say, hey, you know, we're gonna call you up. We're gonna make you the manager of our major league team someday. But I mean, you never know. Who knows? Also, Pedro Martinez could be an option for that. You never know what could happen. Maybe Scott Cervantes becomes a great manager. We'll see how that pans out. All right, so one thing I want to do before we advance any more days is make sure... Okay, why does it have my OSA scouts on right now? Let's just make sure that it's always set to head scout. And boom. All right, so one thing I want to make sure is since in this game there's scouting accuracy, what I'd like to do once we get to the preseason is just slap... make sure we select all on Major Leagues, AAA, and Double-A, and we request scouting reports on all these guys. So 91 players have been added to the task list, and just throughout the next few weeks, we'll just get scouting reports back on these guys so our scout has a more accurate rating for these players. Another thing I like to do sometimes in free agency or in preseason is, because sometimes you can get guys to re-sign for cheaper than they would in the offseason, so maybe someone like Mitch Haniger, possibly. The thing is, I don't want to re-sign Mitch Haniger too much and then have not enough money to re-sign someone like Kulinic or Lewis once we get to the point where we might want to re-sign them long-term. Because I definitely don't want to wait for these guys to get into where they're the last year of arbitration and we'd have to give them $30 million a year. I would want to lock them more onto a similar deal for Evan White or somebody. So Haniger is a guy who is young enough to be around for once we're a good team, but he's also 30, so he's definitely not going to be in his prime once Kulinic and Lewis are in their full sort of prime. Also Evan White, those are our three guys. Even Vogelbach, but Vogelbach's 20. He's definitely older than those other guys. So with Haniger, since he has arbitration next year, I was thinking he's 30 this year, and then if we were to offer an extension, this would be his 31 season, and then 32 season, and 33 season. So if we give him this, that would sign him through his 33-year season, 33-year-old season. And I feel like he would still be a very productive player, and this is definitely not that big of a term, I don't feel like. And I definitely feel like we would be able to keep that the thing I don't want to do is I don't want to sign somebody like this and then it ends up handicapping our ability to sign people in future seasons. But at the same time, I do want to kind of ensure that Mitch Haniger is around for a bit. So maybe I'll do, because this would be another arbitration year, and then this would be free agency year and free agency year. So this would be the year he enters free agency. So maybe a team option for his 33 year. I'm going to do that. He doesn't want a long-term deal. That's the thing, is he doesn't want to sign a long-term deal until he hits arbitration, probably. So that's, what if I do... Yeah, no, we're not going to do that yet. He doesn't want to sign a long-term deal. I'm not going to, force him and, piss him off and make sure he definitely doesn't re-sign us when we get to that point. Now, this is something I might be interested in doing, though. So Jared Kulinic is 21. He's going to be 21, turning 22 later on in the season. And he is a guy who is extremely good already, ratings-wise. Very solid defensive outfielder, very good on the bases. He's going to steal bags. He's going to be an extremely good hitter. Basically, the cornerstone of our team. This is the guy to build around. A center fielder. I mean, you want an elite center fielder. You want a guy who's going to be very good defensively and even just, average at hitting. And you have an elite center fielder. This is a guy who's very good to elite at all the skills. So, and he's already 21, And so at some point, this guy is going to have a season where he's just going to explode. It could be this season, it could be next season, and he's going to want like $30 million a year, and we're just not going to be able to afford that. Also, I kind of want to limit the amount of money he's going to be able to get in arbitration, as shitty as it sounds. As someone like myself who is a communist, you know, everything about baseball, a lot about baseball is very anti, you know, the opposite of my politics. But anyways, I would try to like to sign this guy to a team-friendly deal, even though he's only had about like half a season of Major League time under his belt. I mean, they did the same thing with Evan White, who, where am I going? Front office, salaries, who they signed to this team-friendly deal, which is basically what we're trying to do here with Kulinic. As an ice cream truck is going by my house at 8 p.m. at night. That is who is going to come outside for ice cream at 8 o'clock at night in October? What is going on? Anyways, so they did the same thing with Evan White. Obviously, a very team-friendly deal for a guy who's already had a solid stint in the major leagues, and they did that before he even made it to the big leagues. When he was in Double-A, they offered that, I'm pretty sure. So, someone like Kulinic would definitely... Kulinic's even younger than Evan White, and Kulinic's is definitely a better prospect than Evan White. Better position, more valuable position. So I'm just talking myself... I mean, leader, adaptability, work ethic. I'm just talking myself into this. We're going to do it. This is the type of stuff that small market teams need to do in order to stay relevant, in order to lock down their guys for multiple seasons, and we're going to do that. We're going to lock down Jarred Kelenic. For this season, he's already signed through, and this is next season, all the way through 2029, which we're going to have a player option. Maybe I can give him a team option instead. Doesn't like a team option, that's some guarantee. What about now? Bam, he likes that. We're going to offer that. Jarred Kelenic, submit offer. Bam, he likes that. 8 years, $70 million. That is a steal for someone like Jarred Kelenic if he reaches his peak, which I'm hoping he does. So that could be a really bad move if it doesn't work out, but if it does, that's going to be like some really good, it's going to be a really good team controllable deal for us. Because we don't want him, like, if he has, like, let's say this season he has, like, a 9 WAR or something, then he's all of a sudden going to want, like, $25 million in arbitration, and we're not going to be able to afford that. I just forgot that I signed Jose Trevino to a minor league deal to be my AAA catcher. So we went out and signed that Barron guy to be the AAA catcher when we already had Trevino. And Trevino is also a leader guy, and he has high intelligence. He's respected throughout the league. So I feel like we're just gonna release this guy or keep him around, or we're going to add him to my short list and release him. And if we need to bring him back through an injury or something, then we'll bring him back. And Trevino is going to be the AAA catcher because that makes the most sense for him. Disable AI promotion and demotion. And now we just keep things chugging along. And there we go, Jarred Kelenic has accepted our offer, the fan reaction increases slightly, and Jarred Kelenic has been signed through the 2029 season, and hopefully this is going to work out for us. Jarred Kelenic, hopefully. Let's hope he explodes this season and really makes us look like an absolute frickin' genius. Alright, so tomorrow is the start of spring training. I think we're going to leave off this episode right here. That has been the off-season. I'll have to go back and look. We'll see how long the recording was. I'm not sure how it was, but I'll decide if I want to split that up into 2 different episodes. And then we'll do another episode for the spring training, and then the beginning of the next season. But, we're going to leave this recording off here, and I will see you next time for the beginning of the 2021 campaign.